Time for another category. And in this case, we look at the top machinery manufacturing ERP systems in 2026. So let's dive right in.
Growing a business requires a holistic approach that extends beyond sales and marketing. This approach needs alignment among people, processes, and technologies. So if you're a business owner, operations, or finance leader looking to learn growth strategies from your peers and competitors, you're tuned into the right podcast. Welcome to the WBS Podcast, where scalable growth using business systems is our number one priority. Now, here is your host, Sam Gupta.
Hello everyone, my name is Sam Gupta. I am principal at Elevate IQ. Elevate IQ is the independent, vendor-agnostic technology advisory firm. We help our clients with technology strategy, system selection, enterprise architecture, change management, business process management. On that note, let's go back to today's topic, which is the top machinery manufacturing ERP systems in 2026. We always like to set the expectations how we define the machinery manufacturing segment. For the most part, we will look at different business models that are part of machinery manufacturing value chain. We will look at companies of all sizes. And if you want to know more about your unique business model size segment as well as unique requirements, then you need to pay close attention to my commentary as I touch on each of the system. That's where we will talk about which size and how big the system is for which specific business model, business process they might be designed for. So pay close attention to that. Now, some of the other variables that you are going to find in the machinery manufacturing space, you are going to have many different components, and generally the business models are designed in 4 different segments. So number one is going to be the whole machinery manufacturing, which is very different from the part manufacturing, which is a very different business model in general. But most machinery manufacturers are going to have a part division as well. Sometimes they might work with many different distributors. Machinery segment may not have that, but then you are also going to have different service providers. So all of those distributors plus service providers, those are going to be part of different divisions, but all of them need to be combined as part of the same process. But they also need the rental processes. And in general, the rental processes are very unique. A lot of ERP systems don't necessarily support the rental processes. And that's where either you need to take some sort of workarounds or you need to support them in a different ERP system, or maybe in a spreadsheet, or maybe custom add-on. So depending upon how you configure, but these are going to be the major components of the business model. Some ERP systems natively support all of those because they do really well in the machinery manufacturing space. Others may not have as deep capabilities for all of those segments. Now, the criteria that we have used to compile this list: number one, product share, acquisition strategy aligned with the machinery manufacturing space. Then you have the product roadmap, win rate, technology strategy, investors, and we also look at AI roadmap now because AI is going to be a critical success factor for the majority of the manufacturers. They are already looking at those capabilities. Some companies are able to invest, the other companies might not be because of their R&D limitations as well as capabilities. So those are a factor as well as part of our commentary. So now let's look at the list. Number 10 on our list is Oracle Cloud ERP. For the most part, Oracle Cloud ERP is a much larger product designed for upper mid-market enterprises. For the most part, the companies, the machinery manufacturing companies that might be using Oracle Cloud ERP, they will use that for the GL layer, they might not have as much support from the subledger perspective. In general, the machinery manufacturing companies are very ERP heavy shops. They might not use as many best of breed components, but they are also going to be very deep into the engineering processes, and they are going to require integration with your PLM, CAD, etc. All of those integrations are going to be very handy. Sometimes they are going to have the customer collaboration processes, the configurator processes, depending upon whether those configurator processes are for the machinery segment or for the part segment. Companies are going to require all of that. So all of those operational processes might be a challenge inside Oracle Cloud ERP. And for the most part, you are probably looking at vendor-provided add-ons, feature sets, for all of those capabilities. But if you're looking for flexibility, global footprint, and slightly larger ERP system, then Oracle Cloud ERP is going to be a great fit. And that's number 10. Number 9 on our list is SAP S/4HANA. SAP S/4HANA does really well in the machinery manufacturing ecosystems. The reason for that is because the kind of bombs SAP S/4HANA has, it's designed for slightly more discrete centric companies. They are not as friendly for process centric companies, even though SAP S/4HANA, Oracle Cloud ERP, they both are going to have support for both discrete as well as process-centric processes. In general, machinery segment, unless you are doing something in the medical device space, maybe you are a CapEx shop in the medical device space, they might have some process manufacturing capabilities that they might require. But for the most part, if you're looking for any sort of machinery manufacturer, whether you are going to be in some sort of converting industry, paper industry, the machineries are doing any sort of food packaging, all of those machines are going to be discrete in their capabilities. So SAP S/4HANA in general is far friendlier. It's designed for very tightly regulated cost for all of those processes. The kind of structure that SAP S/4HANA has is designed for those advanced processes. For example, let's say if you care for activity-based costing, some companies care for that, some don't. So depending upon where you are in terms of your process maturity, you probably are going to care for available to promise. All of those capabilities are very deep in general, especially if you're looking for available to promise across your entities, across your sites. The MRP processes that you are going to have across all of your entities, sometimes the smaller ERP systems might not be able to handle those global workloads. So if you are trying to consolidate all of your entity sites globally in many different countries, in those use cases, SAP S/4HANA is going to be a great fit, and that's number 9. Number 8 on our list is Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO. And Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO is a great product. It's not as big as your SAP S/4HANA, Oracle Cloud ERP. For the most part, SAP S/4HANA, Oracle Cloud ERP, they will have a lot more layers in general. The kind of processes that they're going to have, especially if you're looking at dual books, Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO is going to have that, but the capabilities might not be as advanced as what you are going to find inside SAP S/4HANA, Oracle Cloud ERP. Even if you're looking at the deep MRP strategies, they might not be as rich, as robust as what you're going to find inside SAP S/4HANA. So again, the real value is going to be in details. So for the most part, when you are going to have all of those detailed processes, they are also going to have dependencies. And sometimes those dependencies could either increase your implementation time, budget, or they could feel overwhelming. So Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO is going to provide slightly leaner version of what you're going to find inside SAP S/4HANA, Oracle Cloud ERP, as well as Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO is far friendlier from the customization perspective, from the development perspective. So that's number 8. Number 7 on our list is Rootstock. And Rootstock is built on top of Salesforce. So it has very good look and feel of the Salesforce ecosystem. Now, when you look at the rootstock model, it's very deep overall in terms of its capabilities, whether you look at project manufacturing or you are looking at all of different processes, whether you are looking at engineer to order project manufacturing or for the part manufacturing, you are going to have the MTO, MTS processes. The finance processes are really strong. The fixed assets are really strong as well. Now, the challenge that you are going to run into with Rootstock is, since it is designed on top of Salesforce, and Salesforce is not necessarily an ERP system, so you are going to inherit all of those limitations, even though they are all going to claim that they have multi-entity capabilities, but the multi-entity capabilities might not be as aligned as how you are used to of seeing, especially with the other ERP systems. The kind of processes that they have, it's very different compared to the mainstream ERP systems. So that is going to be a little limitation overall in terms of their finance processes. But again, they have very deep capabilities operationally, financially. They do really well in the machinery manufacturing, project manufacturing space. So that's number 7. Number 6 on our list is Acumatica. And Acumatica is a great discrete-centric product. It does not have as detailed processes from the process manufacturing perspective. So if you are a machine builder primarily focused in the discrete-centric manufacturing space, then you are probably going to be okay with Acumatica. Some machine builders, they are going to have the process manufacturing requirements as well, again, in the medical device space. For example, let's say if you are going to be in slightly more chemical equipment space, sometimes they do have some process manufacturing requirements as well. So again, Acumatica overall can handle the majority of the processes from the machinery manufacturing perspective, whether you are looking at the machine division or part division or the service division. All of those processes are integrated as part of the same product. The challenge that you are going to run into is probably going to be in rental processes. The rental processes are not as built as part of Acumatica. That's where you will probably require an add-on from Acumatica's perspective. The ecosystem is very well developed, so you will have choice of many different PLM systems that are going to be supported. The CAD systems, the CAD integration systems, all of those are probably going to be required. Configurator, Acumatica does have decent configurator. It might not be as 3D as what you are going to find with several other ERP systems, but Acumatica has a lot of processes, and that's why Acumatica is very well adopted among machinery manufacturers. So that's number 6. Number 5 on our list is Dalmia Works, which is IQMS product. So Dalmia Works is a very engineering centric product, but the challenge that you are going to run into with Dalmia Works is they are trying to sell as part of the complete suite. For the most part, we have not seen as much development in the Dalmia Works ecosystem for the most part as what we have seen with several other vendors as well as ERP systems, but they are very well penetrated in Europe as well as in the SolidWorks ecosystem, just because it is owned by the same company and they are trying to penetrate in their ecosystem wherever they are present. But overall, the Dalmia Works is going to be a prescriptive product, does really well in the machinery manufacturing space because of that engineering background, especially mechanical engineering. So that's going to be number 5. Number 4 on our list is IFS. And IFS as a product, as a company, has come a long way. In general, they do really well in the project-centric spaces. Their ecosystem is phenomenal. They are growing a lot in North America. And overall, the product is very well aligned to discrete manufacturing, machinery manufacturing spaces. They do have the process manufacturing component as well. For the most part, when you are going to compare IFS, it's very similar to your SAP S/4HANA, Oracle Cloud ERP. The only advantage that you are going to get with IFS, you are going to get much deeper field service capabilities, much deeper asset management capabilities that are going to be enterprise grade. But at the same time, when you are getting the enterprise grade capabilities, whether you are going to use them or not, the price tag could increase accordingly. That is something that we see, with with several customers that they feel that the price might be slightly higher. But again, you are getting very advanced capabilities, whether you want to use that or not, how mature you are going to be from the process perspective, whether you are able to get to the kind of processes that IFS would like to see. Obviously, they would like to have as mature processes as possible from the business perspective, but sometimes companies are not willing to change all of those processes, so it might not provide as much benefit, but then you are going to pay for the licensing, so that could be a little con. So that's number 4. Number 3 on our list is Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Site Line. Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Site Line is much smaller product when you compare with something like IFS. But overall, Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Site Line is very well aligned to discrete manufacturing centric processes, the kind of BOMs or bill of materials it is going to have. It's not trying to serve both process manufacturing as well as discrete manufacturing, even though they have minor process manufacturing component as well. But the BOM, the kind of planning it has, it's really aligned towards discrete manufacturing centric verticals. The purpose of including those process manufacturing capabilities is to support all of those unique manufacturers that are going to require, let's say, 80% of the discrete processes, but they might have a little process component, especially in the medical device spaces or in the chemical centric spaces. Sometimes we see machine builders that are going to have a unique process manufacturing component that they require as part of their processes. That's where Infor Cloud Suite Industrial product has supported that. Now, it's going to be slightly bigger product compared to Acumatica. Acumatica does not have as much multi-entity centric capabilities. Infor Cloud Suite and Industrial supports a lot more countries than the smaller products like Acumatica. It is also going to have the field service processes that are going to be integrated as part of the bill of materials. The kind of assembly that they can support from the field service process perspective, it's phenomenal. Their configurator is probably one of the best in the market. So if you care for configurator-centric processes, both for your machinery division as well as for your part division, they can accommodate all of that. But generally, when you are looking at complex configurator, the implementation could be complex as well. That could be very expensive. In general, for most businesses, if you are not on configurator-centric processes, then you would require a very heavy lift in creating the bill of materials that are going to be aligned to the kind of processes. So even though the tool can support, but you should be willing to change. You should be able to be willing to change your inventory and align those processes to how these configurator processes are going to like. Otherwise, you will not be able to take advantage. You will simply be paying for licenses or license cost. So, but Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Siteline product is a great product for the machinery manufacturers, and that's number 3. Number 2 on our list is Epicor Kinetic. Epicor Kinetic is a very unique product. In general, it does really well in the engineer-to-order centric spaces. It's designed for very formalized manufacturing when you have real process challenges and you are trying to mandate all of those process steps to make sure that people are not able to violate all of those processes. It does mandate revision number, which is very unique in how Epicor Kinetic product operates. Sometimes that could be a plus negative depending upon how your processes are structured. In general, Epicor Kinetic was designed for very regulated companies, the companies that care for process compliance in the automotive, aerospace centric verticals. Machinery manufacturer, depending upon the industry you are operating, sometimes they care for the formalized change control process. Sometimes they care for fluidity. So if you care for regulated, then Epicor Kinetic is probably going to be a great fit. If you care for flexibility, fluidity, then probably Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Siteline is going to be a great product. But again, Epicor Kinetic is a great product for those machinery manufacturers, and that's number 2. Now, number 1 on our list is Infor Cloud Suite LN. And Infor Cloud Suite LN is a much bigger product compared to Epicor Kinetic or Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Siteline. It is designed for those upper mid-market companies that are trying to consolidate many different countries, global processes as part of the same tool. They care for those international trade or compliance processes when they might have all of those restrictions from the compliance perspective. They might also do this from the planning perspective, because one component may be produced in North America, the other component may be produced in Japan. If you want to accommodate all of those processes as part of the same MRP workload, in those use cases, Infor Cloud Suite LN could be a great fit, but not every manufacturer would require these processes, especially for the machinery manufacturers, the smaller ones, they tend to be very regionalized, localized. They don't necessarily trade as much from the global vendors, etc. For those manufacturers, this might not be relevant. But if you are global in your footprint, you care for those global processes, but you don't want to go for much bigger products. For example, let's say SAP S/4HANA, Oracle Cloud ERP, and you care for that operational functionality, the prescriptive depth in those use cases, Infor Cloud Suite LN could be a great fit. So that's number one. If you enjoyed this video, we publish these videos on a weekly basis. So like and subscribe on YouTube. We also include these rankings as part of our digital transformation report. We are going to link that. We are also going to link a detailed report, which is going to have much deeper insights. So you might want to check that. And then finally, this podcast is also available in the audio form on major podcasting platforms. So you might want to check there. On that note, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the WBS Podcast. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. For more information on growth strategies for SMBs using ERP and digital transformation, check out our community at WBS.rocks. We'll see you next time.